April 30th, 1975. Dawn breaks over Saigon, but it brings no calm. The city trembles under a gray, smoky sky. For 20 years, war has burned across Vietnam, and now at last it is coming to an end. Not with peace, but with collapse. The air vibrates with the thunder of helicopter blades. From rooftops and streets below, people look up, men, women, children, their faces pale with desperation. At the U.S. Embassy, a sea of frightened South Vietnamese crowds the gates, waving documents, crying out for help, hoping to catch one last flight to freedom. Marines shout above the roar, "Next chopper, 10 more!" But there are thousands outside, pressing forward, begging to be saved. The gates groan under the weight of the crowd. Some people climb the walls, others lift their children into the air, shouting for mercy. Across the city, Saigon is falling apart. The streets that once buzzed with life now stand silent. Smoke curls from the distance where artillery shells strike. North Vietnamese tanks roll into the suburbs, their tracks clattering over the pavement. At the presidential palace, the last leader of South Vietnam, President Duong Ban Minh, sits in his white uniform staring at the flag outside his window, the yellow banner with 3 red stripes. Back at the U.S. Embassy, the evacuation grows frantic. Helicopters come and go in endless waves, their rotors stirring the hot air, their noise drowning out the cries of those left behind. A Marine lifts a woman and her baby into a helicopter. Another shouts, "Move! Move!" as he pulls more people forward. But space is running out. Some cling to the skids as the aircraft rises, their hands slipping as the wind howls around them. Night falls, but the evacuation doesn't stop. The final stage of Operation Frequent Wind begins. Inside the embassy, shredded papers litter the floor. The radio crackles with final instructions. At 7:53 a.m., the last helicopter lifts off. 11 Marines aboard, leaving behind a city they can no longer protect. Below them, thousands of people still wait at the embassy gates, their hands reaching upward as the helicopter disappears into the rising sun. By midday, Saigon belongs to the north. Tanks surround the palace. Soldiers cheer, raising their rifles in triumph. For the victors, it is liberation, the reunification of a nation long divided. But for millions of others, it is the beginning of exile, separation, and fear. Families flee across the sea in tiny boats, facing storms and pirates in search of a new life. Others remain behind, beginning their lives under a new flag, a new order, a new silence. The fall of Saigon was more than the end of a war. It was